Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Little Bit of Woo Woo. I'm Jill Thomas. I so appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the comments and the interaction. I'm so grateful for that, and I encourage you to continue it. And I would love it if you liked and subscribed to this channel. It would make me feel so good and warm and fuzzy. But I'm also glad that you guys appreciate and enjoy these videos, and I'll continue to make them. So this is my August and September's 2024 predictions video. It's being recorded on 8/12/2024 at 8:30 Pacific. So I wanted to start with Trump. I do think he's got some kind of illness. I feel in his body, I'm feeling like it feels like heart, it feels like kidneys. He just feels like he's not feeling good. Everybody has that experience sometimes, and it does make for bad decisions sometimes, and also very bad performances. But I'm definitely feeling like he's not feeling well. And I think at some point they may even be trying to replace him at the last minute. I was seeing, and I don't know if the guides meant this literally or figuratively, but I do saw people like crossing out his name on ballots and just writing in whoever the Republican is going to be. But again, it'll happen at the last minute. I almost feel like he might even be encouraged to drop out now by the people around him. But he's not going to do it. He's digging in his heels even more than Biden did at the end. So I don't think he's going to go voluntarily at all. But I do feel like it's some kind of an illness or something that's making him uncomfortable. It's just, that's part of why he doesn't want to do debates, because it was easier to hide it when he was also dealing with someone who wasn't feeling well either. But I think it'll be a little bit harder with Kamala. So that could be why we're not seeing debates. I'm not sure that we'll get one at all. It's really kind of sad because I would have liked to have seen that too. I do feel like with him, I got a hit that was odd. He did that Republican, the Black journalist convention. I was trying to figure out why he did it, and I was intuitively getting that the attention had been too long on Vance, and he wanted to bring it back to him. I also do feel like his handlers wanted him to do it for a different reason than he wanted to do it. So I do feel like his fighting, his aggression towards that group was intentional, and I think he may have even thought it was going to help his base. I don't know. That was just what I got, because I was wondering, I always want to know too, what's going on here, right? What's really going on? There's what you're being told, and there's what's really going on. I feel like that's what it was. It was too much on the other guy, on his running mate, and he wanted to bring it back to him and bring the attention back to him. So in that case, it kind of makes a little sense, doesn't it? I do see, and I predicted this before, there would be a lot more of an escalation in Middle East violence during the Olympics. I do see that did happen. I do see it getting worse. They like to do things when we're not watching, when we're watching other things. So I see this going pretty badly for all involved. When I say badly, I do see there's a lot of discomfort, a lot of loss of life. And I do actually see a shocking replacement of Netanyahu. I can't say how, but I do feel like it's rather shocking. And I think that after that, there'll be more of an inclination towards peace. It could be lead poisoning. For those of you from Texas, I'm not sure that the Californians know what I'm talking about when I say that. There's some things you can't really say on YouTube. So one of you guys from Texas, please write in the comments what I actually mean when I say that, because the Californians, I'm not sure they know. Anyway. The other thing I see happening is that there's going to be more major disclosure events. They may even happen today. I think we already knew that there was a leak of the on the Republican side. They're going to be getting, that information is going to be coming out. It feels like it's going to be coming out imminently, maybe even by the time you've seen this. I do see more of these kinds of disclosure events happening. I talked about this before previously, so I won't get too into it, but I do see a lot more of that because people have YouTube channels. There's abilities now to distribute large amounts of information that powers that be might not publicly want out there. So I do feel like there's going to be less privacy in that respect for these major politicians. But yeah, there's going to be more disclosure events. We're going to be seeing how the sausage is being made, and a lot of us are going to be really pissed. So I'm just saying, on both sides, by the way, I do see that happening on both sides. As far as the Kamala campaign goes, I do see it going really well, but I think there's going to be a hiccup. Feels like maybe-ish, October-ish, maybe on her own, maybe even in her own family, some kind of an illness or something happening. She's fine, but I do think there will be some pausing or some taking a moment or taking a breath there and figuring out, kind of restructuring the schedule a little bit. I have said this before, and I'm going to stand by it. I do see the Democrats winning. I do see, though, it's going to be a protracted legal battle. I think they've already started this with the Republicans. I think have already started the paperwork on some of this stuff. They haven't filed it yet because there's nothing to file yet. But I do see them kind of continuing that method of doing things. But I do ultimately see the Democrats winning. Pay attention to your governor race. I'm going to talk about this more in another video I'm going to do a little bit later, but there is going to be a lot more to do with who your governor is, because I do see that the states individually are going to be making some different decisions than the federal government and going against some of what the government is trying to do. You may agree with it, you may not. It doesn't matter. You have to pay attention to what your governor is and make sure that the one you choose aligns to your values, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. And just understand that I think that's going to be a bigger issue than people realize in the next 4 years. Okay, I've had some astrologers talking about the stuff happening on the 14th and 15th. They're kind of giving dates to things I've already been seeing. I was seeing that there's going to be some earthquakes. I was seeing either a bridge or an overpass collapsing. I don't see a lot of loss of life. It may just be at a time when people aren't on it. I don't know. But it's going to cause some disruption in the flow of product. I do see some semis having to go the long way, and it adding time and adding frustration to them and to the people waiting for whatever was in that semi. It's going to be resolved fairly quickly, but I do see a lot of very dramatic pictures on TV. Fires, you guys who live in California and Oregon and Washington, I just looked at the Oregon fire map. It's not good. I mean, there's a lot of fires going on, but so you don't need me to tell you there's going to be fires, and there may even be more in the next 6 weeks in an escalation. 99% of you guys, 99.9% of you guys are going to be watching this on TV and feeling sorry for the people this happens to. This isn't going to be everyone. That's Sophia. But I do see, it's weird because it's almost biblical. It's like water, floods, fire, earthquakes, a hurricane. Mother Nature is almost like she's trying to get rid of us. I'm just saying. It's going to be rough for the next few weeks as a lot of weather and earth type events are happening and disruption. So keep your cell phones charged, put some gas in your car, put money in your go bag, and let yourself just know that most of you are not going to experience any challenges at all as a result of this. But those of you who do, I'm really sorry. There will be a lot of help, though. I do see a lot of people kind of coming to the aid of their neighbors in a way that maybe we hadn't seen before. We've seen a lot of it in the past. We're going to see a lot more of it now because forums like YouTube have helped us all see that we're not that different and that your neighbor is important. And so I do see a lot more of that happening in the coming weeks. I mean, I feel like it's in the next few weeks. It could even be October, but it does feel like it's more like August, September-ish for some of these kinds of challenges. Okay, hiccups in that. Come on. Okay, here we go. All of you guys right now, and I talked about this before, all of you guys are getting an intuition upgrade. So a lot of people are getting a lot more information. The reason I bring this up again, though, is because some of them are getting spooked by it. Like they're getting information. They don't know if it's really true, or they're not sure if they're just making it up. Just know that a lot of us are getting hits that are new experience. If you're getting intuitive hits about stuff coming along, go ahead and write it in the comments and tell us about it. It's nice to know. But I would also encourage you to work on developing those skills. I would encourage you to look at tarot cards, maybe practicing. It's just cards. Don't set religion aside. They're really just fun. It's a deck of playing cards, and there's great books on how to read those. Have a little bit of fun playing with it and using this new skill that a lot of people are getting an upgrade for, and try to learn to trust it more. Listen to how you're feeling. The reason I bring this up especially is because we're going to be seeing, and we've already been seeing this, a lot of narratives on the news that just aren't true. They're just not true. And you'll be able to feel when it's not true, or that it's being exaggerated, or maybe that there's something more you need to pay attention to. I would encourage you to look into that more. I'm going to do a whole economics video next, probably at the end of this week or next week on this, because I know it's not a topic everybody's interested in, but I do see a lot of stuff coming in the next year and a half that has seeds of it that are happening kind of right now to watch for. But I would say for you, focus on yourself. Don't get too caught up in the television. There's going to be a lot of stuff that's not nice. Don't get too caught off and knocked off track. I will say with politics that the confused buyer does not buy. And so some of the antics and the tactics that you're going to be seeing on the news when it comes to politics are designed to get you not to vote, not necessarily to vote for one person or another, but just to not to vote at all. Because in some cases, a vote that is not cast is actually a vote for the other person. So just understand that that's part of the game. I do see people making some really positive changes in their lives, restructuring how they do things, restructuring what's important to them. Allow yourself to be part of that process by figuring out what it is you want. Use the last of this retrograde to figure out what you're looking for in your life and how you want it to be. And if there's something that you're sick of, you don't want to live on the edge anymore. You don't want to experience worrying about whether you're going to be able to pay the rent or not anymore. It's time to make some changes. I would say the best investment to make, and I'll do an economics video, but the best investment to make right now is in you. If there's some training program that you want to go through, if there's some certification your boss has been saying, you should probably get that. Do it. Get it now. Because now is the time, right? I do see a lot of companies, there's a security certificate that a lot of companies are needing now. I do feel like there may, in the next year, I'll talk about this later in another video, but a requirement of companies to have somebody on staff who's got this special certificate, security certificate. Somebody knows what I'm talking about and put it in the comments. But I would look for that. And the first time it's offered, take it. Just do it. Just do that, because I think there will be people who make decisions now that are going to be ahead of everyone else later. So with that, I hope it was helpful. Go ahead and put questions in the comments if you have something you want to know about in a future version. I do get a little bit better information when it's US, and I do get a little bit better information when it's less than the next two, around the 2-year mark is kind of where I start getting information that's less reliable. So hope you found this good and helpful, and have a great week, guys. I really, really wish you all pleasure and fun and all kinds of good things. Bye. Take care. Bye.